dinosaurs, Vietnam, and gore. That's basically the pitch for Primitive War, and honestly, that was enough to get me on board. But did it live up to my hopes for a hard R dinosaur horror flick? Let's talk about it.
Now fight dinosaurs. I'm gonna go find them, dead or alive.
We won't survive an hour. You'll let them die.
You better get fueled up and get ready.
We're doing what you want. We're probably all gonna die screaming because of it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Primitive War is the new action sci-fi horror film from director Luke Spark, and it stars Ryan Quanten, Trisha Helfer, Nick Wexler, and Jeremy Piven. Going into this one, I was pretty intrigued. I've loved dinosaurs ever since I was a kid, and for years I've been wanting a hard R gory horror movie with dinosaurs. Something way bloodier than Jurassic Park ever dared to be. And while Primitive War didn't fully deliver on that dream, mostly because of budget constraints, I still had a pretty good time with it. Before I dive into the plot, if you enjoy reviews like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And if you want to go the extra mile to support the channel, I do have a Patreon where you can subscribe for just $1 a month. It really helps me keep these reviews coming. So the story takes place right in the middle of the Vietnam War, and we follow a recon unit that's been assigned to a dangerous mission. Their orders are to head deep into this isolated jungle valley to figure out what happened to another platoon that's gone completely missing. On paper, it seems like a pretty straightforward recovery and recon job, except the deeper they go into the valley, the more obvious it becomes that something isn't right. At first, the soldiers assume they're going to run into enemy fighters, but instead of finding Viet Cong forces, they stumble into something much stranger and way more terrifying: prehistoric dinosaurs that have somehow been brought back to life. From there, the mission completely changes. It's less about completing their orders and more about just trying to survive long enough to make it out of the valley alive. That's where the film really kicks into gear, turning into this mix of a gritty Vietnam War movie with all the familiar military tropes and a full-on creature feature where the real enemy isn't human at all, but packs of hungry dinosaurs tearing through everything in their path. Now, first off, the Vietnam setting was perfect. I've always been interested in military history, and the Vietnam War is one I've read and learned a lot about over the years. I've also always enjoyed movies set during that conflict, so taking that setting and mixing it with a B-horror premise, soldiers versus dinosaurs, was an immediate draw for me. Yeah, it's cliche to have helicopters flying into battle with Creedence Clearwater Revival blasting in the background, but that's kind of the point. It leans into that B-movie style, and for me it worked. The dinosaurs themselves were also pretty great. Now you can tell this was a lower budget production. The VFX effects aren't always going to hold up to blockbuster standards, but what I really liked was the actual design of the dinosaurs. Instead of the usual scaly lizard-like look, they went with a feathered design for most of them, which I've always preferred. It gives them this bird-like alien quality that makes them stand out from your typical Hollywood dinos. And of course, I've got to talk about the gore. This is something I've been waiting years for. Finally, a dinosaur movie that embraces the R rating and lets us see some carnage. While I do wish they had pushed it further, what we got was still really satisfying. People's limbs get torn off, bodies chomped in half, others completely ripped open by velociraptor packs. It's bloody, it's nasty, and it delivers that mix of practical effects and CGI in a way that felt fun and gruesome. The ending set piece is definitely the highlight of the whole film. It honestly reminded me of something straight out of Starship Troopers. You've got soldiers lined up against what feels like hundreds of dinosaurs charging at them, and the dinos just absolutely get mowed down. It's chaotic, it's gory, and it's easily the most entertaining stretch of the entire film. The final 20 minutes had me the most hype. But as much fun as I had, there are definitely some issues. The biggest one is the acting. Everyone plays it pretty straight, which can work for this kind of movie, but the results results are mixed. Some of the cast pulls it off fine, but others really don't. Tricia Helfer's character in particular stuck out in a bad way. Her fake Russian accent was really distracting and honestly pulled me out of the movie a few times. The pacing was another problem. This movie clocks in at 2 hours, and it didn't really need to be that long. The middle 45 minutes or so slowed the movie down to a crawl. It drags hard in spots, and I definitely found myself checking out during the downtime. And lastly, while I already gave the movie credit for working within its budget, some of the CGI still looked pretty rough. Most of the time it was passable, which I appreciate, but there were moments that straight up looked like an early 2010 Sci-Fi Channel movie. Those weaker shots pulled me out of it, especially compared to how cool the practical gore looked. But at the end of the day, even with its flaws, Primitive War gave me enough of what I was hoping for. Cool dinosaur designs, some gnarly gore, a fun setting, and an ending that really delivered on the spectacle. It's not the perfect R-rated dinosaur horror film I've been waiting for, but it's a step in the right direction, and I had a good time with it. I'm giving Primitive War a 3.5 out of 5. If you like creature features, war movies with a twist, or just want something different from another Jurassic World sequel, I think you'll get some enjoyment out of this. But what about you? If you've seen Primitive War, let me know what you thought in the comments. Did the gore live up to your expectations? And if you could greenlight your own R-rated dinosaur horror movie, what would it look like? And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next review. And again, if you'd like to support the channel directly, my Patreon is just $1 a month, and it really helps out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.